As Americans, okay. I just went through Starbucks and for a grande, it was $9.42 for a grande coffee. That's insane. That's actually insane. To put that into perspective, in the state I live, that's more than minimum wage for an iced coffee. That is insane. I need to know, is anybody else just trying to survive and
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the GWG, the Gag with Geek show. I'm going to be doing some reactions to Top Rants. Shout out to Top Rants, and yeah, inflation is crazy out here, and it's affecting everybody. So let's see what everybody's talking about.
survive the Kroger, survive the grocery store prices, survive all the things to exist, but also be seemingly happy and live life to the fullest, not question what happens after we die, just live, laugh, love our asses down the freaking sidewalk to all the things, but also sensitive, but also badass, but also angry because they're hungry, and also needs some cuddles, and also wants to read a book, and also wants to take a nap, and also wants to travel the world, but doesn't have any money because of Kroger, the grocery store. Anybody else? Also,
Yes, we are having a moment. Everything is so inflated right now. I know I went to the grocery store the other day, and some of the things that I always get was inflated, like a $2 or $3 increase. So we all feeling it out here. Nobody's exempt, and unfortunately, I think everything is just going to continue to, you know, be more inflated and continue to go up in prices. So you're definitely not alone, sis.
talk like I don't even know what I'm doing on here. I just am having a millennial crisis on TikTok. So thanks for coming to my TikTok.
Does anybody else feel like the target keeps moving? Like, hear me out. When I was in high school, my dream car was like $20,000. So it's like, okay, if I can make 20,000, I can get my dream car. Fast forward 5 years, it's like I can afford a $20,000 car. But now my dream car is 40,000. Fast forward another 7, 8 years, I can afford $40,000 car. But now my dream car is like $60,000. And it's not even like newer years or newer models. It's the same car. It's still the same 1992 model car.
This is just my little Tuesday rant.
Now, he's not lying about that. I feel like these days, if you're gonna get you a new car or get you a car, period, for a lot of people I've talked to, they feel like you should just go ahead and get you a new car because the way they have these used cars priced, it's only a couple $1,000 difference from the new car. So a lot of people that I know, they just went ahead and got the new car. If I'm going to pay $20,000 for a used car, or why should I pay $20,000 for a used car when a brand new one is only $5,000 more? So for a lot of people, I know they're opting out of the used car and they're just getting them a new car. But these these car notes are astronomical these days, and way too much money. But we all need a car to get around. So
I am 33 years old, and I just want to give you an example of why our generation and the generation under us is drowning when it comes to just everyday things that we are required to purchase. So the first example that I'm going to give you is household appliances, washers and dryers, refrigerators, dishwashers, okay? My grandmother is 91 years old. She has a refrigerator in her garage from 1976 that still works perfectly. Okay, she still uses that for pop, for juice, for anything when grandkids come over. My husband and I purchased a dishwasher. This is a Frigidaire. And not to mention that dishwashers themselves are expensive, even for the cheaper dishwashers. So we purchased a $700 Frigidaire dishwasher 6 months ago, maybe 7 months ago. And this is what the inside of our dishwasher looks like already. It is completely falling apart. It is rusted out. Almost all of the little brackets, I don't know how many have already broken off since we purchased this dishwasher 6 months ago. And the worst part is when we called Frigidaire on our warranty, they specifically sent me the warranty like exclusions that exclude rust in the warranty. It's like these companies know.
No, that's unfortunate. It's about what she's about to say. They know exactly what they're doing. They knew that thing was gonna rust. That's why they took rust out of the warranty, because they knew you were gonna have to replace it. Nobody wants a rusty dishwasher. I recently had to replace a dishwasher in my rental property, which I think I'm gonna move back to my own home, and yeah, dealing with a tenant, that's a whole nother story. But yeah, that's why they excluded. And these things aren't lasting, as long as they used to. It's kind of like the iPhone. iPhone works well until the new one comes out, then your iPhone starts, tripping and acting up. So yeah, this stuff is definitely not like it used to. These companies know we gotta have it. So they're gonna upcharge it for us, and they're gonna make it to where it don't last long. So and what we gonna do? Just sit here and take it, because I ain't nothing else for us to do.
The quality of their products are not good. And so they exclude the things that they know are going to happen. So I know that our generation complains about how things are and how expensive things are and just the quality of things, but this is the reality of what we have to deal with. We're buying washers and dryers and refrigerators and dishwashers and expensive items way more frequently than my parents or their parents ever had to buy them. The quality of the products just isn't there, and it makes us feel like we're drowning.
Their salad's so expensive. It's leaves and dressing. There's no reason it should be like $16+, and it's more if you want.
And I love salad. I'm pescatarian. I eat a lot of salads and stuff. But like she said, why is it so expensive? It's leaves, but that's why it's so expensive, because it's healthy for you. All the bad stuff is not that well. Even now, the bad stuff is expensive as well. But especially if you're trying to eat healthy and buy all the organic and all that, they really gonna charge you for that. But she has a point. I understand the frustration. It's leaves. Why are we paying so much for this? Man, let's let her cook.
Protein. Obviously, I want protein because otherwise it's just leaves and dressing. I understand that food is expensive because inflation and farmers and stuff, but there's no reason it should be that expensive. Are you kidding? Salads should be $8, $10 if you want protein. They're really milking us for all we got, huh? Hate to see it.
Just went to the fucking store today, okay? And this was $200. It was like 220 or whatever. Big purchase was the formula and the diapers, but you're telling me that just this is $170? That's a fucking joke, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where's all my fucking food? Where? I don't understand. I have to make this stretch until the next paycheck. I do my grocery shopping at Aldi's and Walmart, and we have BJ's, which is like Costco. But what the actual fuck? This is mostly produce too. Look, I've got carrots, zucchini, celery, plantains, cucumber, cabbage, 2 things of lettuce.
Mm-hmm.
I only got 2 things of meat, because normally meat is your expensive thing. So I got some ground turkey and some ground chicken. Am I forgetting something? I'm not even sure. Well, there's milk in the fridge, so I did buy a small gallon of milk and a half thing of oat milk. So what the fuck?
This is for the parents of all.
So I definitely understand her. And the crazy thing is, I eat just like her. Minus the snacks and stuff, I don't eat a lot of sweets. But like I said, I'm pescatarian and mostly vegetarian, because I rarely eat, fish and seafood. But I spend about the same. It's always about $200 every time I go to the grocery store. So lately, I've been trying to just go to the grocery store once a week and get what I need, and cook the things that I'm going to eat for that week. But even now, all the produce stuff, it seems like it goes bad so fast. So I definitely have to be mindful of that. But yeah, that's how we all feel when we go to the grocery store. Like, what the F, like she said, because this stuff is getting too much. And like I said, I don't think it's gonna calm down no time soon. We just gonna have to keep dealing with it. So let's keep on going.
Kids, like 8-year-olds plus, and I mean this in the sincerest way. Are you guys okay? Yes, this is another supermarket rant because the supermarket has become my most despised place on earth. It surpasses play centres and the gyno, and that is absolutely saying something. I just dropped into Coles to grab a few things, and I'm trying this new thing where I'm spending intentionally and I'm thinking about where every single one of my dollar is going. And for me, I prefer to support the local grocer than to support the big food chains. Mexican tonight, so think like black beans and diced tomatoes and corn out of a tin, like things that are meant to not cost a lot of money. And I walked out of there spending $82 and I came out of there with one meal. I have little babies. I have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. And between the four of us, those two, my 3-year-old doesn't eat. She eats oxygen. So, like, to combine, they're probably the equivalent of one child and 2 adults. Like, how are you feeding these preteens and teenagers who are like garbage disposals, who just eat everything? I know that's what I did when I was a kid. Like, at this, I'm sitting in my car. That's how furious I am. And at this point, I just taken the piss.
PSA, can rich, privileged people, especially younger people, stop giving financial advice? I scrolled across TikTok and this one person's like, this is what I did to make 6 figures, and this is what you're doing wrong. Live below your means and all that BS. Really, you find out that they live at home and don't have any actual true bills like everyday people. Most of us do not have parents that are able to provide for us fully, and good for them. That's not a slight for something that they were born into. But coming on here and acting like they really know what they're talking about when they have no student loan, no debt of any kind. And it's like, yeah, you just live below your means and just make smart spending decisions when most of us are paycheck to paycheck. I'm like, make it make sense.
Now I feel like she in a way kind of contradicted herself only because she said, you know, it's people that live at home with their parents that giving her the advice to live below your means. And then she said, you know, and you know, no slight to them for being born into that. But it takes a lot of courage, I feel like, for a grown adult or a young adult to go back home and live with their parents. So being that people are telling you, people who live back home with their parents, they're telling you to go live with your parents and stuff and live below your means. Well, I feel like they're giving you advice from somebody who's doing it. They have a lived experience. Go back and live with your parents. That's what they're doing. That's how they're saving their money on bills. And, you know, they're living below their means by being fortunate enough to go back home and stay with their parents or their guardian or whoever was their guardian who raised them or any family member. So I feel like it, you know, they're credited to, you know, give that advice because, like I said, they have the lived experience. But I understand. I honestly get her frustration too. If that's not what you want to do, then you just gonna have to figure it out.
Stop. I think one of the most frustrating parts about being a young person today is that we see the ways that things could be better, right? Like, wouldn't it be great if my landlord wasn't legally allowed to raise my rent 20% one year and then do it again the next year? Wouldn't it be great to have a 4-day work week or even like a 6-hour work day? Wouldn't it be great to have more public transit systems so we wouldn't have to rely so heavily on cars all the time? But whenever we say these things, people in power and the older generations are like, you know, that's going to cost money, right? You don't think we're paying for this already? It's just so infuriating that it costs so much to just exist. And none of us really even asked to be here, right? And we have solutions, like the solutions are out there. And they may not solve everything, but they would make it better. And the people who are supposedly supposed to represent us are like, oh yeah, you have a little idea? Oh, that's cute. Sorry, I have a luncheon to go to. Like, okay, guess we're screwed then, thanks. And I know that America is objectively not the worst place in the world to be, right? But I don't see how wanting better has become like a hot topic. Like, why is it such a divisive thing? Like, this resistance to like things that are very obviously going to help everybody is just so frustrating because, like, why? I feel like people forget that we are where we are right now, like in terms of equality in society, because people chose to make such a stink. Like, maybe we should listen to the people. Just a thought. Okay, so this is a little message for the government. Not that you probably care, but if you do, this is a message for you. I just went to fill up my car and it cost me $102. Okay, that's a sick joke. Considering my car used to be $80, like how did we get to this? Like $102, you've just like cost me about 5 cups of coffee that I now won't buy because I had to put extra in my fucking car for fuel this week. I basically feel like I really.
I love how they try to beep out her cuss words and then the beat came after the cuss word. But she right, gas is, well, actually, at the time of this video, gas is still astronomically expensive, but it's gone down a little bit. So, I mean, it's up and down, but I mean, it ain't like back in the day how it used to be $2. You get some gas for $2, fill up your $2 a gallon, that is. But no, it ain't that. But it definitely went down a little bit. But I still understand her frustration because we all out here feeling it.
I'd like to know what you guys all earn and what exactly you fucking do to earn that kind of money, because I can sit down and tell you what I do at work, and I work really, really fucking hard, but I've got to live week to week because the inflation right now is kicking me in the ass. I don't exactly know what you guys do because it never seems to be anything that you promise when you fucking.
All right, everybody. I thank y'all for hanging out with me. Welcome on another episode of GAG with Geach. And you know, if you haven't already, if you would like to, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next video.